All right. So let's take a look at the ones. I like to shuffle cards when I talk, so I think better that way. But I did want to start to show you, what I got right away. So this was the energy that you came out in. This is the Princess of Pentacles, or the Princess of Coins. In this case, it's the same as the Page of Pentacles. And I will do a little bit of interpretation now, and then we'll definitely dig into some details when we get some clarifiers. But with the Page of Pentacles, I believe that you are looking to start something new, was the thought that I got when I saw this. And so we're talking about a relationship. So maybe you're ready either for a fresh start with this person, whoever this person is that you have in mind, or you're ready to start with a whole new, different person. So we'll see where the reading takes us, but that was kind of what I got here, which is you're really looking for like a fresh start, and we'll see what fresh start we dig into here. The energy of the person that you have in mind came through as temptation in this deck. This is the Devil card. So in this deck, these two lovers did some things that they shouldn't have done, and they were forever kind of banished to live their lives flying around together. So the person that you're thinking of, right? So this is them, whoever them is for you. They are in some kind of energy of feeling stuck, either by obligations, by something they did that they can't take back. These people are forever kind of stuck in limbo. So perhaps something happened or transpired between you where this person feels like there's no turning back. There's no way for me to kind of fix what went wrong. That's a possibility with this card. Always when I see the Devil, I have to kind of say it. Your person may have been or may be dealing with some kind of addiction of some variety. It doesn't have to be chemical. There are other types of addiction. So there's always that. Like they're in some kind of stuck energy. All right. And the overall energy that the relationship came out with is judgment. And so what I got when I saw this card for your overall relationship was that my guess is that you all have been through the ringer a couple, 2-3 times, and there have been some hard choices that needed to be made, and that at the end, neither of you felt satisfied, is kind of what I'm getting with this. So there was a lot of kind of hard stuff that went down, and ultimately a decision was made. And I think I almost kind of feel like it was a lose-lose. But then I'm also getting that one party lost more than the other, if that makes sense. So those were the 3 cards that I pulled and kind of flipped up and started to think about before I started the video. I did pull another 3 cards to look at 3 different aspects of the relationship. And after we talk about those, we'll get some clarification with another deck, okay? So I pulled a card to represent what the obstacle or challenge is for this relationship. And we got Grace in reverse in this deck. This is the Star card. So the obstacle or challenge for this relationship appears to be that one or both of you have lost some kind of hope in the relationship, that you feel like there's nothing left to shoot for. There's nothing left to, I'm kind of getting like there's nothing left, and it's kind of sad. The star upside down, that's so sad, because all those hopes and aspirations and all the beautiful stuff, that we think about when we see the star, we're aiming for our true heart's desire, and it came up like this. So, and we'll get clarification, but, you know, clearly the block, there's some kind of, you know, there's definitely confirmation that there's some kind of blockage or challenge with this particular relationship. It came up in that blockage or challenge position. And I think it has to do with, I think you guys have just lost, what's the word? I'm going to say hope. I think it just came down to, there was nothing more to be done. It almost kind of irreconcilable differences type of deal. So we'll see what else we get with that one. And then from what you want from the relationship. So this is you. This was a representation of you. What you want from the relationship. This is the King of Swords in reverse. So I think, so for me, if this is your energy and what you want from the relationship, you, I'm getting that you don't want to hear BS anymore. You don't want to hear excuses anymore. You're ready to just kind of like be done and move on. You're tired of having to think about, what does this mean when they say this? Or what does this mean that they haven't called me? Or what does this mean when, you know, such and such happens? Or when they say or do this type of thing? I'm getting that with this, which is like, you know, overactive mind because of somebody else's stuff. You know, like your mind is like, so you're over it. You know, it's like you're so over it. You're over it. So we'll see. Again, we'll get clarification, but these are just kind of like my initial hits. And then what they want from the relationship. This is really sad, Pisces. So they came through as the 8 of Swords. So you both came through with sword energy for what you want. You know, the swords are tough. These are tough energies to deal with. And when we're talking about the 8 of Swords, we are talking about somebody who maybe had too many options, maybe indulged too much, and kind of didn't fully think through what they were doing or choosing when they were choosing to do the things that they chose to do. And boy, do they regret it now. You know, this is kind of like, I don't know how I'm going to get out of this. I don't know if I can get out of this. I'm getting like I really effed up, and, you know, and just that feeling of like, I don't know what to do. Like I feel totally stuck because I really screwed up type of thing. It's sad, Pisces. I'm sorry. All right. So we're going to get clarification on this, on a few of these pieces. I'm going to be using Tarot of the Hidden Realm to get clarification. There is no reversals in this deck. I'm not using reversals in this deck. So I think the first thing I would like to do is get a little bit of clarification on the overall energy that came through for the relationship. So that was the Judgment card. So let's get some additional information and clarification on the energy of the current relationship for Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs, and Venus. Can't forget about Venus when we're talking about relationships, right? So Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Clarification for the Judgment card, please. And I'll show these to you in a second. So the 3 of Cups, the 6 of Wands, and the 6 of Cups. Yeah. Oh, Pisces. This is tough. So let's talk about these two first. The 3 of Cups and the 6 of Wands. From this, I'm really feeling like someone in the relationship was putting themselves out there. I'm getting flirting. It could be, there's a spectrum here. So, it could go as far as cheating, to just like making themselves too busy socially and not putting in enough time, right? So that's kind of like one end of the spectrum would be like, I'm too busy socially, I'm too busy going out with my friends and doing my other obligations, and I'm not spending as much time on the relationship as I could because I'm doing other things. And then the other end of the spectrum could be, full out cheating and, being disloyal and that kind of thing. So then we couple that with this, which is the Six of Cups, and I can't help it. If you stick with my channel long enough, you'll start to see, for me, the Six of Cups is very often signals to me that this relationship was karmic for you in some way. So that could be twin flame, it could be soulmate, whatever label you want to put on it. But the umbrella for me is karmic, and I've gone through this. These are painful. These are painful situations. And so, yeah. So this judgment that happened, I'm guessing, right, because this was the overall underlying energy that we got for this. Maybe some shit came out, right? So one end of the spectrum, maybe you finally kind of got tired of being left on the back burner, and you kind of spoke your mind and you spoke your piece about it, and it ended up maybe a rift happened between you two because you spoke up and maybe they didn't like it. The other end of the spectrum is you found out about some kind of cheating or betrayal, and when that was brought to light and discussed, that was like a hard, I'm not dealing with this BS type of energy, right? So that's what I'm getting for clarification for the relationship, okay? I want to dig into their energy. I want to dig into this kind of devil energy that they came in. So this is their current energy in this relationship. And so let me tap into that. So let's get clarification for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for this Temptation Devil card related to the person they're thinking about. What is this Devil card? What is this about? All right, so we have, can't make this shit up, guys. In this deck, the Devil's called Shadow Dance, okay? The Queen of Pentacles. I'm sorry, I'm breathing heavy because this is tough, Pisces. This is tough energy. And the Nine of Cups. Okay. So let's look at this. All right, so clearly, Spirit is giving us a confirmation on the Devil energy. So temptations, again, going back to the spectrum we just talked about, right? So the Devil are our material obligations, right? So the one end of the spectrum that we talked about was, I have too many obligations, too many things going on, I'm spread too thin, and that was keeping them from focusing on the relationship. The other end of that spectrum, the least nice end of that spectrum, if they were cheating, there's giving into temptation, lust, that kind of thing. And then for some of you, there may also be tied in, especially since we got the Devil twice, there may be some kind of addiction issue, porn, obviously drinking, drugs, gambling, whatever addiction, any kind of addiction can apply here. So, yeah, it's tough. And so their current energy, I think it's too late though. You know, this is kind of sad because they're still in this devil energy, obviously, you know, but I feel like they're trying, you know, they're actually trying to like get their life together and to offer you some, like to get good with themselves is what I'm getting first and foremost. But then with this cup, you know, like when I saw that cup, I thought, they may still be trying to like reconcile with you is kind of what I'm getting with this. You may have heard from them either in writing or, you know, like an email, text, or maybe they called you to try to talk to you about the relationship. But I think they're trying at least is what I'm getting, right? You know, they're still here. They're still in this devil energy. And I'm sorry about the glare on the cards. It's annoying me. But I feel like they're trying. They may not know how to, this is tough energy to get out of, right? They may not know how to get out of this, but I feel like they're at least trying.